Assalamualaikum guys, and welcome back to our channel Mirza Spice. I hope you're all in the best of health and I hope you're all protected from this coronavirus. So for today's recipe I will be showing you how to make chicken biryani. So first of all we will start with boiling the rice. I had 4 cups of sella rice, or you can use any brand of rice of your choice. So the first step is to wash your rice thoroughly. Rinse 4 to 5 times until the water is clear. As you're aware, rice contains a lot of starch, so we need to try and get rid of as much starch as possible. In a large pot, add in boiling water. So for 4 cups of rice, I added in 8 cups of water. So just double the quantity of water. Slowly, you don't want to be mixing too harshly as you don't want to break the rice grains. I then added in 3 teaspoons of salt. At this point you can add in some whole spices such as cinnamon stick, black peppercorns, black cardamom. However, I like to keep it simple and just add in some salt and some oil. So add in a few drops of oil. You can use any oil of your choice. This is just to prevent the rice from sticking. Allow to cook on a high flame until the rice is cooked at 80%. So for biryani, you don't want to fully cook the rice. You'd only like to cook it 80%, as the remaining we would cook when we do dum. So once the rice is cooked at 80%, drain the water. And we will rinse the rice with cold water. It's just to stop the rice from cooking any further. So alhamdulillah, our rice was ready. Then in a large pot, add in a cup of oil. I used vegetable oil, but like I said, you can use any oil of your choice. I then added in 5 medium-sized onions, finely sliced. So mix the onions and allow the onions to cook until they're a beautiful golden brown colour. Alhamdulillah, as you can see, our onions were a beautiful golden brown colour and were caramelized. So the next step would be to add in your chicken. Make sure you wash your chicken thoroughly. So I had 1.5 kg of chicken thigh. Now you can add chicken breast, chicken on the bone, or even meat. You will need to cook the chicken until it changes colour. So I cooked this for around 10 minutes on a high flame. Make sure you continuously stir, otherwise your chicken will stick to the bottom of the pan. I then added in 1.5 packets of the laziza Sindhi Biryani masala. Now it's entirely up to you what spice you use. My 2 favourites are either the laziza Sindhi Biryani masala or the Shan's masala. So like I mentioned, for 1.5 kg of chicken thigh and for 4 cups of rice, I used 1.5 packets of the masala. So once you've added the spice mix, just mix thoroughly to make sure the chicken is evenly coated in the spice. You can also add yogurt in at this point. So once I mixed the chicken with the spice mix, I added in 5 medium-sized tomatoes. Add in 2 teaspoons of salt. However, salt is always to taste. Mix thoroughly and cook this. So fry the chicken with the tomatoes for 5 to 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes of frying the chicken with the spices and the tomatoes, cover and cook on a low to medium heat for about 15 minutes, just to allow the chicken to release any of its juices and allow the tomatoes to soften. Add in 1 cup of water. You don't want to be adding too much water, as it will make your gravy thin and then it will be difficult to dry at the end. You need a thick consistency when you're making biryani. Once the water comes to a boil, cover and allow this to cook for another 15 to 20 minutes until the chicken is cooked thoroughly. After 15 minutes, check the chicken just to make sure there's enough liquid in there. Mix and make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan. So mine needed another 5 minutes, so I covered and allowed it to cook for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, alhamdulillah, the chicken was cooked and the oil had come onto the surface. At this point, turn up the flame if you need to dry any of the liquid. Like I mentioned, you do need a thick gravy for biryani. You don't want it to be watery, otherwise it will make your rice soggy. So we will start with layering the biryani. I took out the chicken from the large pot and just left a bit of the liquid at the bottom just to prevent my rice from sticking. I then added a layer of rice, then the chicken, add in some coriander. It's best to use fresh coriander, however if you don't have fresh you can use frozen coriander. I then added in some drops of food colouring. You can either mix the food colouring in milk or water. I normally tend to mix it with water. Repeat the process again. So add in a layer of rice. Add in a layer of chicken again. So alhamdulillah, as you can see, the gravy was really thick and that's how you need it to be. Add in some more fresh coriander and food colouring and just repeat the process until you've laid up all your biryani. This is something you definitely need to try in your homes. All my family, alhamdulillah, love my biryani. If you do have any questions, you can always leave them in the comment section below. I have also linked my Instagram, so you can always DM me on there also. So in the last layer of our biryani, I added in all the remaining chicken. I also added in some mint leaves along with the coriander. So alhamdulillah, after layering my biryani, I did them for 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, just mix your rice. Always mix from the sides. If you mix from the middle, it will make your rice mushy and break the granules. I then topped up with some more fresh coriander. So please make sure you do try this recipe out at home and let me know in the comment section below how it turns out. And like I mentioned, if you do have any questions, you can always contact me either on my Instagram or in the comment section. Serve your biryani with raita or mint chutney, so a mixture of yogurt, onion, cucumbers and tomatoes. So if you did like my recipe, please make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. Inshallah, I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, take care and Allah Hafiz.